Welcome in to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Ricky Bottalico along with Ruben Amaro. We'll hear from Ben Davis in a moment. I'm sure we're going to hear from Joe Girardi and probably one of 7,000 pitchers that threw in this game tonight. 375 pitches were thrown in a 10-inning game tonight at Dodger Stadium. The good news? The Phillies hung on the win.
Yes,
Ruben.
They sure did. And I'll tell you what, that's a lot of resilience. A ton of pitches, and they swung the bats. And a great job by Francisco Morales. I thought for sure that he wasn't going to get a chance to get this thing done, but good for him. I mean, the young man, he was put in a very, very tough position, threw a bunch of sliders, Ricky. I could not believe how many sliders he threw. But, hey, he got the job done, got the ground ball.
And they're on Trey Turner.
And they got the W.
How about Trey Turner at the end? The count should have been 3-0. Instead, it's
well
1-2.
Off the
Are you kidding me?
I think the umpire finally said, you know what? It's time for us to shut this thing down. I've had to call 375 pitches. Let's move this game along.
It wasn't the prettiest of games. We've seen two nights in a row. The Phillies bullpen continues to give the Dodgers opportunities late in games. But, I mean, bottom line is you shut them down. You finished it off.
No question about it. Listen, it's about W's. At the bottom line is a W, and that's what they got. They swung the bats very, very well. They actually played pretty darn good defense. And, listen, the pitching was what it was. There was no doubt that this was supposed to be a pitcher's duel. It certainly did not turn out to be that.
We're going to head over to the crossover. We're going to bring in Ben Davis. Hi, Ben.
Hey, Benny.
How we doing, boys?
Well, it's still Friday. It's still Friday where you are, at least.
What time is it? 11:30 for another 28 minutes.
Ben, your thoughts on this game as a whole to start with?
It's a win. I mean, I don't know where to go. The bats really showed up. It showed a lot of fire in these guys. Getting that 5-run third really could have taken the wind out of their sails. They actually had to go deep into that bullpen. Those bullpen catchers, whatever they got paid tonight, it's not enough. they earned their keep. But this offense is really starting to click on all cylinders right now. We showed the stats throughout the course of the game. They're doing it. They're really, really doing it. There's just no giving up. The fight is in every pitch of every at bat. You're seeing it. You look at Castellanos tonight. He's had a rough couple games, but he goes out there and he takes care of business. In that last, it gets to double down the line, and he hit the single earlier in the ball game. So these guys just don't give up on themselves offensively. You're starting to see the fruits of all their labors because they work very hard.
Yeah, Ben, we expect this kind of stuff from Bryce Harper and Castellanos. Talk about the bottom of the lineup because they did a heck of a job tonight.
Awesome job. I think they scored 6 runs, and it may have been more than that. I didn't add them up, but they've been phenomenal. Really good at bats, good 2 outs. Bryson Stott, his first 2 hits tonight with the 3 RBIs. They both came with 2 outs. It's one of my favorite stats, and Sean Kane, who's in your ear right now, will tell you the same thing. 2 out knocks and RBIs is how you played in late October, and this is something that they were able to do tonight. They've been able to do on this road trip, so hopefully that can continue to happen. But the at-bats in general, it's been great, and I think that the bottom of that lineup is really starting to feed off the top of the lineup, especially 2 through 4. They're getting the job done. Schwarber is really coming into his own, and he's seeing a lot of pitches, and he's doing some damage.
He hit the ball down the left field line, right field line, out of the ballpark down the right field line. So he's using the whole ballpark, number one. And he looked very, very under control, very balanced. His legs were steady, no jumping. The eyes weren't jumping in this one. I thought that was maybe his best swings we've seen all season.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, the results will tell you. But you're right about that. Sometimes when he gets kind of happy feet sometimes in the zone, trying to drive the ball and pull off the ball. But when he's driving the ball through the middle of the field and using the entire field, which he did tonight, he's very, very special, and that's the reason why he's won a couple of MVPs.
Time to hear from the skipper. Let's go to Joe Girardi out at Dodger Stadium.
Second MLB outing for Morales. And, how do you think? I mean, obviously that's a big ask for like a young guy.
Yeah.
With that?
We knew that we were going to have some guys that really needed to step up tonight, and a lot of guys did. When you look at what some of the guys did. Nick Nelson was fantastic. Our bullpen did a really pretty good job holding them down. But it's a huge ask. And, he came off a really good outing in Seattle. where he threw strikes, and his slider was really good. And I think he walked the first 2 guys, and they got that huge double play. And you're still not out of the woods because Freddie Freeman's the time run, right? You're still not out of the woods. And it's just it's a big performance by a young man.
Did you think about bringing him in earlier?
No, I kind of went with the more experienced guys earlier in the game.
Yeah.
Because we were right in it, and we were scoring runs, and we were chipping away, and I kind of knew what we had. I knew that I could get multiple innings from Nick Nelson, and I looked at the matchups and just kind of played the matchups, and they all did a pretty good job.
That's 21 runs and 27 hits in 2 games against the best pitching staff in NL by ERA anyway. Is there any common theme there about you guys can do well?
I don't think so. Obviously we know they're very good. I mean, their pitchers are their staff is fantastic. But our guys have just grinded out at bats and done a really good job. I mean, we think we have a pretty good offense. And at times we've struggled this year, but we've seemed to get it going a little bit on this road trip.
Is this what you were expecting the offense to be like heading into this season?
Well, I would love 12 runs every night. I'd be really smart. But I mean, we know that we have a bunch of gifted hitters. We feel that. So some guys have gotten hot on this trip. Nick Castellanos, his day didn't necessarily start good, but he had some big hits down the stretch. So Harp again. I mean, what can you say about Bryce Harper? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, a young man that's been struggling. I don't know how many hits he's got. I think he's got 6.
2 for 2 tonight with 2 walks, or 2 for 3 tonight.
I think he's got like 6 hits, but he had a huge night for us tonight.
Yeah. I think his hits came off Max Scherzer and Walker Buehler.
Right, he has one other hit besides that.
Yeah. How big is this win tonight? Just the fact that you guys now could return to Philadelphia with 2 more series wins under your.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge because if we're going to get back in it, in a sense, I mean, if we're going to make noise, we have to win series. And you have to win series against good teams. And, we played the Dodgers tough these first 2 games.
What wasn't working for Gibson today? What did you say?
I didn't think he had really good command of his sinker. I thought his slider kind of left him in, I think it was the 3rd inning that he gave up the 5 runs. But what was huge about that is I think we scored 3 in the top of the 4th and we bounced back. And it's confidence. Our guys have confidence.
You go inside that box score.
6 for 12 at the bottom.
Tremendous work at the bottom of the lineup.
5 runs scored. 6 for 12, 5 runs scored. You're talking about the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Odubel, Johan Camargo, and Bryson Stott all had really nice games.
Yeah, and you know what? Odubel Herrera's really been swinging the bat well, done a nice job. He's calmed down a lot too. He's a guy that gets a little excitable, does a little bit too much. It looks like he's even starting to mature. Johan Camargo, I love this signing. I've loved it from the very beginning. He can play, man. He can play all 3 infield positions. He swings the bat well from both sides. He's very calm. He's got great hands. He's got a cannon for an arm. And I'll tell you what, he's a real great addition to this club.
And this game was all about the offense. Let's go to Bryce Harper in Los Angeles.
Tonight, you guys head back to Philadelphia with 2 series wins under 2 more series wins under your belt. Just can you put into words how important it was?
Yeah, we just gotta come out here tomorrow and do the same thing. We can't lay down or anything like that. It's a great team over there. They're gonna come out ready to play tomorrow, and we have to do that as well. Yuri is going. It's gonna be a tough matchup for us. And, they're hungry over there, and we're hungry over here. So we just need to take it in tomorrow and try to win the series tomorrow.
The offense continued to click against a great pitching staff. I mean, it's looking like it's living up to the expectations that were there at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, we just got to keep going. Like I said, it's a great team over there. It's a tough matchup for us. But we just got to keep going. We got to keep having good at bats, seeing pitches, getting on guys early, getting on bullpen guys as well. So just all around, keep having good at bats and good approach.
How satisfying is it that you guys have been able to do this against this specific pitching staff?
Yeah, I mean, I think with the division that we play in, in the East, we see guys like that every night. That's a really good pitching staff over there, but we see guys like that. Not the East, just in the East. You look at the Mets, Atlanta, Nationals with Strasburg, guys. Marlins, they never get enough credit. It's one of the best staffs in baseball. So, I think it's always a tough matchup for us. Any pitching. But, we see that.